Okay, guys, I couldn't help myself. I had to take care of a phone call, but I want to finish this list pool because I promised you guys a list pool, and I barely got past the market research first portion. So if you haven't caught part one, make sure you catch that. We'll go ahead and jump into this and let people trickle in while I start working on this. So we ended up doing the Philadelphia market. We analyzed two markets, guys. We analyzed, um, give me a second. We analyzed Las Vegas, which had one county, and that county was not Clark County. Let me check here. Las Vegas. Okay. So the county in yeah, it was Clark County. So it only had one county. So a quick recap. Why didn't we go with Clark County? We didn't go with Clark County because it, I mean, Las Vegas, the whole MSA only had one county in it. I like seeing at least, I'll just say five counties. And compared to Philadelphia, which is another one somebody mentioned on the first live stream, the Philadelphia one, guys, that had over 6 million people there. And I think around eight zip codes. And Clark County, Las Vegas MSA, that whole MSA, guys, only had, well, not only, but it had 2 million people. So think the more people you have, the more housing units that you're going to have. It's very important. Very, very important. So let's go ahead and go for it. I want to make sure my sound's working. Okay, I think I'm good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and let's go ahead and start putting this list together. All right, so in Chrome tab. Um, all right, cool. Okay, so I am going to go and start analyzing this market. Let's go in here. This is considered the Delaware Valley. And a quick recap here before I go forward is to let you guys know that we chose this because it had 6 million people, 6.2 million. The more people you have, the more single family housing units you have. Also, it's a bigger area. So if people were to move from their current houses and upgrade, they still would live in this general location, right? It's not like they're going to move across the country or even across the state. They'll probably live in the MSA, but in a different geographical area. The thing about Las Vegas, another issue about that, why I don't like that very much, is because it's all homogenous. It's a tight area and it's all the same. It's like all a grid. So if the median sale prices are 300K, you're probably not going to have any areas that are significantly distressed or doing significantly better. From what I could tell with Las Vegas, it's just a very like just turnkey area. I want to say turnkey area. That's not the correct word. Um, it looks like a very conventional area with the grids that are there, right? It's not like hilly. It's not like one area is by water. It's just all in the middle of a desert, and it's planned like that. And it's centralized in an area where you could drive traverse the whole area across it in 40 minutes. Um, I don't like seeing that. It's just too much to gamble as far as the type of seller there. Um, there's no, there's not a lot of, if there's not a lot of disparity when it comes to the geographic area and it's not a big location, then you probably don't have to deal or not deal with, you probably don't have a diverse group of sellers. When we talk about diverse, we're not talking about demographics per se. What I'm talking about and referencing is just the the situations the sellers may be in. So if everybody lives in Las Vegas, like I doubt people that own their houses are not doing well, right? I don't think there's large swaths of the population that aren't doing well. From what I've heard, I've had friends that live there. This isn't a large sample group. It's only been like one person, so a friend. And they just said it's just a very not difficult to live there, but it's not a good starting location to live. So most people there are probably for business, for entertainment, on a mission. Um, I consider it like a military town in the sense where a military town, you don't have people that don't have any military business being there. If you live in a military town and you aren't a contractor, military spouse, or a military, you're actually a serviceman, are you supporting them? Of course, like if you work in critical services, first responders, police, RNs, things like that. If you're working in the food industry, I'm not counting that. But if you're just like some person that's like grew up in there and you just live there, you're just bumming around, there's not much growth. It doesn't look like there's much growth in this area. It looks static. And I don't like static areas, guys. Static areas mean there's not much value add, right? In Las Vegas, this whole area, and this is another data source I use as well, called EIG.org. And there's an interactive map here. What you're looking at is all this brown. Anything you see in brown is considered a distressed zip code. Anything in blue is considered a prosperous zip code. And anything not there is a desert, which is why, or maybe they don't have data. It's possibly the desert. But notice in the South, you have all these areas, which, guys, it makes sense. These are most of the areas we wholesale in, right? Most active areas down here. Now, something to take into consideration is this as well, is over half of the distressed zip codes in the United States are rural. So over half of these brown areas, we probably wouldn't even consider targeting. Okay. All right, so the point I was going to make was this. I just want to see Clark. All right, so let's do Clark County, Nevada. Okay, so this actually answered my question right here. Another thing we need to take in consideration before choosing a market, or when choosing a market, guys, is how are people doing in that area? Is it an affluent area, or is it a distressed area, or is it sort of in the middle? Well, this tells me that this is comfortable. And comfortable, when it comes to this website, EIG.org, prosperous is the most affluent. Okay, so prosperous is the most affluent to the left here, and then comfortable is right next to it. So these are places where you probably go in, you probably see some neighborhoods that I probably wouldn't live in, not crime, just probably chain link fences, stuff like that. And then you probably have another echelon of people that are in gated communities or nicer suburban places. But those people, what I've noticed in comfortable areas is those people that are in those chain link fence type places, their standard of living isn't any different. They're not going to tolerate crime or anything coming in their area. And this just tells me that there's not much value to add. There, mid-tier is sort of in the middle. If you think about the scale of gentrification, distress is completely dilapidated. It's like Detroit 10 years ago. I think I've heard Detroit is turning around now. Well, let's just say it's Memphis. Memphis in 2023, and every year, probably before then, now, and going forward, it'll be Memphis distressed. I don't see that changing. And then at risk, and then mid-tier. Mid-tier, I would say that's like the teetering gentrification area, right? Where it's at risk, and then it's almost about to gentrify. So if most people are doing comfortable here, when you call them and you ask to buy their house for a discount, what are they going to say? They're probably going to be like, yeah, I'll sell, but at retail, there's nothing to improve on here. Now, if this was separated in multiple counties and I saw brown right here, orange right here, maybe some blue scattered, dark blue, and maybe some more brown scattered, I'd say, okay, there's some possibility here because some of these zip codes could turn around. But this whole area is like homogenous. And that's a token to city planning. Las Vegas, this is stable. This area is not going to change. These property values probably aren't going to increase significantly over the next few years. I consider Las Vegas like a military town, to be honest. I really do. Not in a sense with the demographics, but more like the stability of it. Which, if there's not any chaos, guys, we can't make money. You know, it's cool to live there, but when I look at that, there's nothing going on. I'm not seeing any opportunity there. Now, when I go to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and this is all stuff I do before I even think about going into a market. When I look at Philadelphia, let me see. Let me zoom in here. Sort of hard to see here. Okay, yeah. Okay, all of Philadelphia County. So trying to see where actual Philadelphia County is. Forgive me, guys. I'm not familiar with this area. Oh, okay, duh. Okay, it's over here. That's right. It borders Jersey. Okay, so guys, check this out. I mean, still sort of the same thing, but the thing with this is that we have more to target, not just Philadelphia, not just the main county in Philadelphia. So you see some of this area, these areas out here, these are on the outskirts, and these are at risk. Now, I want to see if there's any. See, this is affluent as well. All right, this is that's Finland. Yeah, Philadelphia, honestly, guys, isn't looking too better. There's only one at-risk area. So what happens is when you talk to these people, they're going to be wanting a lot for their houses. Now, I still think there's opportunity here because I want to see what zip codes are in this area. So Philadelphia County, how would I check that? Let's see. Is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm trying to see all the counties that are here. So we have Philadelphia County, Montgomery, Bucks, Philadelphia, Montgomery, Bucks County. Is Berks included? Berks County is not included. That okay? So those are additional. Which honestly, guys, so this is a good point. If you're in this MSA and you're like, man, you're looking at this data and you're like, man, this is actually a lot of prosperous data here, right? These are a lot of homeowners that are affluent outside of this little holdout at risk. And there has to be a reason. This is probably deep downtown. Usually in the city center, that's where the most crime is historically. Schuylkill County. Yeah, that's not even part of the MSA, you know. Even the stuff that's on the outskirts of the MSA is yeah. So if I were here, guys, I'd probably say possibly not. Now, Pittsburgh is looking a little bit better because you have this that's at risk, you have this that's distressed, and this is at risk. I like seeing that. And the mint green, I sort of don't really pay attention to because most of the time, these areas are in rural areas. I found. If I go to the New Jersey side, I'm seeing 2 at-risk areas, and then everything else is blue. So, guys, most of the people that probably lived here and were on the fence in these distressed areas, probably being able to live, probably got pushed out. I'm not going to say there's not any holdouts, but for the most part, this place looks like it's turning around. And I did a deal here actually 2 years ago with a partner on Facebook. And the data is looking a little bit different than what I remember. But either way, I think it's worth analyzing the data. Like, I still think there's opportunity here. All the stars won't align in any market you go into. So just remember that. Now, I do need to grab my zip code analysis sheet here. Let me see if I can find that. Okay. Because I'm on a different computer. My laptop is in the shop getting fixed. So give me 1 second. If you guys have any questions, you could drop them. I'm guessing that Grandma says it says Facebook user on here, but I know Grandma always does the boom. All right. I don't think I have my own sheet, guys, on my computer. I'm using my assistant's computer right now, and she has an iMac. Okay, wait. I think I might have it. Oh, even that, I don't even have Microsoft 365 on here. So fail. All right, so I didn't plan accordingly for that, guys. So we don't even have to go there. But what I am going to do is this. I'm going to show you guys, like, so if I were to just pull a list in this market, what would that look like? So Philadelphia, actually, that's not the state. The state is PA, Pennsylvania. And I'm going to just try to determine the county I want to go to based off of the Redfin Market Insights per county. So if I am looking at, let me clear some of these tabs off. Okay, all right. So if I am looking at this Philadelphia County, I want to see what the counts are. And when I say counts, guys, I'm looking at the market insights. And the main thing you want to remember are the homes sold. So I'm seeing 13 homes sold, and I like looking at the trajectory. They're usually over the year. Now we're just coming out of the lowest part of the year for selling and home owning or home buying, and that's January, February, March by far. But even then, it looks like it's had a steady decline. Well, no, that's just towards the end of the year. 732. So at its height in the last 3 years, 2,100 homes sold in a month. Okay. Okay. So that's not bad, but this also tells me that things are tightening up. And guys, I'm going to be honest. If I go in my list pulling tool and I put my motivated seller criteria on here, I might not get a lot of people that own these houses. That I might not get a lot of people that own houses, like not the original owner, but own them prior to 1999. That's what I'm trying to say. Like that's how I determine the health of an area too. So when I use this is like my motivated seller criteria here, and I'll go over this in a second. It's not Georgia, it's not North Carolina, it's PA. So Philadelphia, and we're going to do Philadelphia County. If this will actually start. Actually, that's not even the right criteria, guys. This is. All right, that's taking a second to buffer. And usually I would separate this by zip code, but just for the sake of this example, I'm going to do that because really what I would do is update my zip code analysis sheet. And that is so tedious, guys. It's necessary, but just for the sake of the example, I'm going to just do this. PA is Pennsylvania, right? Yeah, PA. I mean, oh, you know what? I probably need to refresh this. One moment. Area search. or rather, let me just log out. 1 second. Log in. Golly, guys, this is going so slow. It usually doesn't go this slow. It's probably because I'm streaming. I might have a lot of stuff going on as far as like data. That's actually a good point. I might have a little bit too much going on. Let me clear up some memory. That's one of the downsides of having a Mac. I usually have so much stuff going on. Okay, I got about 40 megabytes here. So it's going so slow. Okay, I have no idea why that's going so slow. I'm going to let that just like sit there. Maybe I can log in Safari, but I'll give it one more shot. Okay. So while that's buffering, I want to see what the counts are for the other counties. Because what I prefer to see, guys, is actually an upward trajectory in homes sold. Because especially in areas that people haven't really considered, I know these top ones, most people in this area will probably say, yeah, I'll target Montgomery County as well. But will they consider, or have they considered Gloucester, Burlington County, Cecil, Salem County, Chester County? Only thing we need are home sold volume, because if we have like 1,500 homes sold in an area, guys, that tells me that there's cash buyers there, and that tells me that there's retail buyers there. All of those will not be all new construction and retail buyers, nor will they all be cash buyers, right? So give me 1 second, guys. Pause. All right, cool. I'm back. All right, so that's important to remember, which is why I don't listen to people at RIAs and online, because guess what, guys? If they say, yeah, you guys shouldn't target Cecil County, that's in the middle of nowhere, nobody's buying over there. Guys, they update Redfin data every month. You could simply go in here and look and see what the trends are. And this is what I like doing. It's called trend analysis. So you see this. Okay, this is in Montgomery County. Yeah, actually, that is sort of a downward trajectory, because the lowest in the last 3 years actually was this February, with only, well, I wouldn't say only, with 461 homes sold. All right. It's about the average 800, seems like, at its peak. Okay. Let's look at another one. One that might not be as popular, Burlington County. While that's going, yeah, that's working for some reason. I'll go on Safari. Okay, so let's do Burlington Market Insights. Okay, so home sold. Okay, so you see how that's sort of increasing right there, guys? I like seeing that. This tells me if nobody else is focused on it and you are, you can sort of pick up and say, hey, there might be something here, right? You're not going to be in a situation where there's not going to be buyers. And if you guys have InvestorLift, you can check as well. But this is just an easy way to see it on a macro level without having to go into all those software systems and stuff. Homes. Oh, actually, guys, I'm sorry. I'm looking at median sale price. So disregard what I just said. I need to look at the home sold. That's actually good when you see a steady increase. It's not like fluctuating everywhere. Now, home sold, Okay, this looks decent. I'm not seeing a downward trend. I think February was just a real low month for homes. Yeah, really in the last 5 years. Now this is one thing, but I think February of this year was a really low um, month for transactions for some reason. Okay, let's look at another one. Cecil County, because ideally what I want to do, guys, is pull. Give me 1 second. 80% of my records in one area and then 20% in a more riskier area that may be up and coming that other people aren't focused on. Like you don't want to pull all of your homeowners from, wait 1 second, from one of these speculative counties. All right. Oh, so that's interesting. So this is actually in the state of Maryland. So the this whole MSA covers 3 states. It seems like it covers Maryland, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. So if you aren't looking at your market from this angle, guess what? You'll only target your homeowners in Philadelphia and maybe New Jersey, but I wouldn't consider Maryland. So Cecil County, Maryland. And who knows, guys? You know, a buyer may say, yeah. Some of them may say, yeah, I'm not interested in there. Or he may just say, hey, I'm only interested in these zip codes, and I'm only interested in the zip codes that border the Pennsylvania Maryland border. And once you do this, you can actually ask your cash buyers, hey, would you consider, you know, anything in the over in Cecil County? That's a big area. I don't know. Maybe just the ones that are bordering the Pennsylvania border along, you know, Peach Bottom or along the, I can't even pronounce this, Susquehanna River. Actually sounded right. But with that being said, we have 77 homes sold and a bit of a mixed trajectory, to be honest. So I'm not seeing any real standouts here as far as zip codes that have had a lot of increase, guys. I'm sure if I looked at all these, I will. I don't want to do all these. I'll do one more. Let's do Newcastle County. I think that might be in Jersey. But actually that's in Delaware. Oh man. So wait. Okay, so it covers 4 states. Delaware. Yeah, okay. Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Maryland. Right? So guys, I'm not the one saying this is, and to me, it's odd. But this is how bankers, realtors, doctors, lawyers, you know, public officials. What's another one? City planners, civil engineers. This is how they're looking at the markets. So we tend to do real estate in a bubble, but if everybody else is viewing the market like this, they're like, oh yeah, Gloucester, yeah, that's considered the Philly MSA. Yeah, that's part of Philly. I went because we really consider Gloucester, New Jersey, you know, yeah, maybe Jersey, but that's more of like, yeah, those are Philly people, you know. I think it's just proximity to the MSA and how big the same type of, what am I trying to say? The same type of demographic spread out, right? There's a lot of things that the census takes into consideration, but this I found is like a really important point, guys, is focusing on areas that I wouldn't consider, but you know, who am I to say? I don't know this area at all. I've never been to Philadelphia. So who am I to say only truly Philadelphia is Philadelphia, Montgomery, and Bucks? That's just being egotistical, right? And thinking I know everything, and I don't. When I have to like look at this and say, okay, well, I think it's weird that a county in Maryland is considered part of the MSA, but I mean, I guess it is, you know. And who knows? It may, based off of where your cash buyer lives, he may prefer, if they prefer flipping houses, they prefer flipping houses around this region. Actually, let me find that county. That county was in where, guys? I think it was Delaware. But okay, I completely forgot. So anyway, All I'm saying is like your cash buyers will consider your properties in other areas that you may not consider. So it's important to take the bias out, right, and use the data, right? So this is just the process I use, guys. Obviously, it goes faster if I'm doing this on my own, but I'm sounding this out as I go. Okay, so I want to see if Investor Talent Toolbox is working now because that's really what I came here to do. And if not, I might just go live tomorrow. Looks like it's not going to cooperate with me, guys. All right, I'm going to try to log in on Safari. So hopefully it works over there. So give me a second. And guys, this is how I'm able to do this in any city, right? And I put together marketing campaigns for people, and it's pretty amazing how it operates. And I have no experience in a lot of these markets. Yeah, I guess no experience, or I haven't been to them. It's because I follow a system. Number one, proven tools and a proven process, right? And so rather than if something was messing up with one of my tools, like Investor Title Toolbox was giving me a hard time a few years ago, instead of scrapping it, I was like, guys, you got to please make that work because all of my KPIs, the data, I mean, really like all the data I pull and all the deals I've closed have been off of a handful of tools. So I've just been optimizing them rather than looking and see what I can replace with when it's better. Nothing really is better for me unless somebody can say it comes with the same track record. And I need receipts. I need people to say, hey, I pulled this list. I got these types of response rates. I generated these types of leads, right? These number of percentage of sellers had phone numbers that were wrong. These percentage of sellers, when I called them, they said they sold the house. So the data was bad, right? All those are in consideration whenever we're doing our marketing. All right, guys. So it looks like that's not going to cooperate with me. So I'm just going to stop there, guys. It was actually good just to finish this. It was actually irking me not finishing my point. I thought I wasn't going to be able to do everything before I got on that call, but I'll stop there, guys. And I might go live tomorrow on Saturday. If so, guys, I'll see you there, and I will chat with you guys.